Meeting is being live streamed.
Oh, that's new.
Also, I have to remember because what happens is I'll share and then um meeting is okay. And then I'll forget. It's just like a tiny little square in the corner. So when we engage, like when we're talking about stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
have to like turn it off share. Otherwise it just looks really terrible. And anyways.
Okay.
So if I don't do it and you guys think about it, then just let me know. Oh wow, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we are this oh sorry, okay. This is Rob of Attitudinal Psyche. You
Hi.
can check out.
Yeah,
He,
go to my website, attitudinalpsyche.com. You can see what I do.
he also types, he does beyond Enneagram though. He does yeah, his own system, which is so hot that even established Enneagram professionals try to steal it.
Oh, true. Yes, they do. I must be great if they're trying to do that.
And we
Yeah.
also have Holly jumping on, the chicken master.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like chickens.
Maybe a couple other randoms that jump on, but I have no idea. Okay, share screen. Yep, I think this is just the window. We are typing the Help, which are like an indie band.
Hmm.
Um, oh my God, fuck,
I look
sorry.
indie.
Oh, maybe the one is four fixed. I got a shot of it.
I think he's a three wing four, but I spent a while because
The
like the
left
guy on the
one?
right. Do you mean the guy on the
No,
right?
on the second picture on the left.
Oh, I think he's a three wing two with a five wing four fix.
Oh, okay. He just had like a look that I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, he looks like a beautiful alien.
Yeah.
And I think he's nine wing eight got fixed because he looks, I don't know, he has he has nine wing eight hair. Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like that kind of grimy gremlin, hot grimy gremlin thing. But I think he might be social sexual. So I think like if he's a 359, which I could be wrong about, then it makes him kind of got like he's like more like a rock star version of like a hermit crab.
Yeah, I'm just getting, I don't know, some sort of hexad with nine. Is that
Yeah.
where you were at? Yeah.
Yeah, 359. And then for the other guy, Noah. So that one is Chandler Ransom Lucy, and then the other one's Noah P. Dillon. I think he's a three wing four.
Hmm.
I beat anorexia.
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of a three wing four anthem, sure, I
That's
think.
interesting.
Um, not 100 on his head fix. I think he's social self present, maybe, and I think he's nine wing one fixed. But
Yeah, maybe he has seven.
They look
yeah,
very similar.
Yeah, they do.
well, yeah, I think it might be like the three social three thing where they're like combining their aesthetic for like consistency or some shit. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but they're both. But yeah, we can watch like a little bit of a interview,
South by
maybe.
Southwest.
Yeah, this girl, this girl is having like her little South by Southwest sexy
Oh
Sam.
yeah, she's sandwiched. She's loving it.
Yeah, and I think they signed like a while ago. I don't know. I've been stalking them a little bit just out of curiosity, but they're not like huge, but they're a hot little indie band.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So,
how are you guys liking stuff?
and I find it interesting that they're both wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So it usually does point to like rejection or withdrawn influence somewhere
Hmm.
prominent. Like,
Yeah, what you hiding from?
Maybe they got pink eye.
what were they doing a South by Southwest?
Yeah. Stoned or something.
Yeah.
Could be a logical reason why.
True.
South by, is it your first time?
It's Chandler's first time. It is my first time at South by Southwest. We don't really have an opinion so far on this trip because we've only been here for about 2.5 hours. We've only seen the sauna and the pool. How long is this interview? I'm not trying to, I'm just because I can tell a story, or I could just say I don't have an opinion.
Say your story.
I came in 2016 and I didn't know anybody, not from the internet or anywhere, but I came to South by trying to network, and I got taken in by Gabe Uzi, like Uzi Gabe, like he makes music. He's kind of a legend in the scene. He just saw me at a party and was like, "You're with me now." And then he took me like backstage with ASAP Rocky, and I was like bowling with YG and Wiz Khalifa, and I was living, yeah, I was.
I mean, this is already like a social 3 dump.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm getting a lot of 7 too, and 9 from him.
I thought he was a 7-wing-6 at first, but I think he's attachment core. I think I don't know, but
Yeah, especially because he's like, yeah, he just found me and added me to his. I'm just like, huh? Like you didn't take your destiny, like you didn't take control of your destiny. He just found you and added you. Like that's your story of how you became a thing.
I think that can be also like 3-9 stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
What I also thought was interesting was like he asked her how much time he had, so it was like, how much time do I have? And then I'm going to tell you a story. It's like I'm going to paint you a picture. Like it could be like the whole 3 competency. Like, can I weave my magic on you or not? Maybe, but I'm open to being wrong about his type. But
Yeah.
What I also find interesting is if you look at them, they're kind of almost like matching again. But the way that they look, it's like Noah on the left, he looks like buttoned up and kind of more professional and snooty and like elitist sort of looking. Like he kind of looks more like I only shop at Saks or something. I don't even know if Saks is impressive, but and then you look at the other guy, Chandler, and he looks like grimy kind of, and like more like he was maybe up late sniffing coke and butts.
Yeah. I need to see more, but I do have some idea.
So like I was living in Colorado at the time, so I had never come across anything like that. So it honestly kind of changed my life. Shouts out Gabe, and yeah. So that was my South by experience. And I was couch surfing with 2 irreprehensible figures that were a little bit south of the river, and I thought I got AIDS from staying there. Not that they were gay or straight, that doesn't matter. Just like it was so filthy. I just thought there was something growing or metastasizing, and yeah, but.
Yeah, maybe it is 7 fix.
Yeah, that's 7. That's. I mean, I could consider 5 too. It's one or the other. Just 'cause that was so specific. Yeah, maybe it was AIDS metastasizing. I don't even know does he know he's being funny or is it just that's what I'd be curious.
It does speak to him not being triple attachment though. If he's saying shit like this, he's provocative. Like he's kind of become less provocative though. I've noticed. I watched like a whole bunch of the things, but he seems like a little bit beleaguered by the state of the world. Because they're like, well, I'll just say this out the gate, like they're awake-ish, at least like from my perspective. They know like the game and they don't like to play it, and I think it's traumatized a lot of people. So I feel like I can kind of see that in some of the interviews with him where he seems sort of unhinged, but
yeah. But he's trying to ring it in. That's why I think if it is 7 or 5, it's probably just wing 6 because he's at least trying to do the attachment thing. It's just not working in the headspace.
Yeah, I would think if he's 7 fix, it'd be 7-wing-6, but
yeah, I agree.
Oh, I'm banned from the Whole Foods, the headquarters, because I stole hot food there.
Wait, did they catch you?
Yeah, and they called the cops, but then I was like being very cool.
7s are thieves.
Yeah, that's 7 fix.
Cool about it, I guess. And he's like, all right, well, we're not like, you can just leave now. And so I'm banned from the one with the ice skating rink on the top or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, well, that's kind of crazy. So, some basic questions for any first-time listeners. What is the Hellp? How would you describe your music and the genre you fit into?
We're not indie sleaze. It's on a real note, it's unfortunate that people kind of think of us as that because we've been doing this long before that was a commodifiable term. And now that it exists as a genre, it's easy to place anybody who's making some sort of electronic music. And are thin-ish, kind of, depending on the day, thin guys or girls or whatever. But we're just not that. I don't really know. We just have specific influences and then kind of go from there. But it was never, and obviously we love like that electro clash kind of era, but I don't think that's the driving or motivating factor in our music. I think we're, I don't know, I'd say.
I keep forgetting to turn that off while we're talking. But yeah, there was actually kind of a 3-7 thing, 3-wing 4-7 thing going on there.
Yeah, and I like right there he was speaking for both of them. He was so okay with it, so I do think it's social.
Yeah.
Just being like us, we like this, like
Mm.
that, you know, just very he's taking the lead. The other guy hasn't said anything yet, so he definitely seems to be the more aggressive one out of the two, the assertive one, so it makes sense that he has an assertive type first.
Yeah, he could be double assertive. He's kind of like also, yeah, like fast, like with the 7, perhaps.
Mhm.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I think his 9 fix kind of makes him chill. He looks chill, like he could just, you know, nod off at any moment, but then come back and answer a bunch of questions and do it again. So it's got that 3-7-9 feeling.
yeah, and like I do notice like 7s, like my tracking that I do on all this stuff, it's like 3-4 space and 7 space where they get pissed off about like they want credit for stuff and like I'm not that, I'm this. Like they do that kind of 4-ish thing of like, and so I feel like I can see that all happening in his what he's doing. It's like we're like this. I'm putting it in a package for you, but it's not this.
Yeah, and
Uh,
image, he's doing a lot of image management too, just seeing how he's dressed, and he's
yeah.
carefully making specific movements with his body, so it does feel like he's aware of his image. And, you know, he's doing the social thing as well, where he's like, yeah, we associate with this, but not that. We're kind of in here. You know, he's like drawing this social map of where he's located, where they're both located, because he's speaking for both of them.
Do you have any thoughts, Holly?
Yeah, I could definitely say like the social first seemed pretty clear. Or at least tracking it very heavily.
I'm really scared I'm gonna accidentally show my whole desktop again, which I've done before. It's just the window, right?
I wonder if the
Yeah.
sunglasses are part of the imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They have this whole like leather jackets, tight, skinny jeans. It's like you guys didn't invent this. Also, here's the other thing I've noticed about 3s, and this is like it's like they're into mod culture. Like a lot of 3s are into mod. I don't know if you've noticed that too. It's like I used to go to a mod club a long time ago, and I feel like it was just full of 3s, like 3
Mm.
guys, and they all had like the sort of like they'd wear jackets on, and when it was like fucking summer, drinking their beer, and it's like,
Mhm.
are you not dying right now? It's their image.
Yeah.
It's like my image.
Not very practical.
Which one did you think was social sexual?
I think the one on
Yours?
the right, I think like the guy
Uh,
Chandler, I think he's a social sexual 359. I think he might be 3-wing too, even because he seems weirdly
okay.
more accessible and like
Yeah.
eager is
The
not the right word, but he goes on live streams all the time and just like talks to random people on the internet and stuff.
I was just gonna say the guy on the left was giving me a little bit of like Kanye West vibes, weirdly enough. I think that social, like the Contra 3, because I don't know, Kanye kind of does that too, where he's just very vague and he'll reference people and how they like got him to where he's at. Like if you look at his interviews, it's very similar. I know he's self-prosexual supposedly, but
Interesting. Yeah, I guess we can watch like this guy do his thing. I pulled up. There's whatever.
I'd say probably like alternative, you know, like by the book, it's alternative music for sure. But I don't know, the genre is always kind of modulating. We've definitely put out songs that sound like fucking what's the band with Kurt Cobain? It's just American
Nirvana?
music. Yeah, American music.
They don't have any songs that sound like Nirvana, just as a side note.
Music. That's really what it is. We're trying to do like this folk kind of approach to it, where it's like working class. Like think about a song like SSX. It's so country and folk genre oriented vocally over, you know, very large like M83 landscape synthesizers, which is why I like it, like even filming in
This is
here.
not, their music's not working class. I don't know what this is.
It's some weird attachment stuff.
Like a landscape, but you're internalized. It's kind of always the vibe. Like America, big landscapes, big sky.
Oh, he's gonna talk about social self-pres shit right there.
Yeah, and he's getting lost. He doesn't even know like what he's saying.
Strong feelings.
Okay, America's your vibe.
I mean, it's not necessarily like a patriotic vibe or not. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
the idea of the crumbling manifest destiny transposed into music, but not really thinking too hard about that. Just the grandiose idea of what America is or is not now. But I do love like the initial core values that America brought along, and like at least the LARP of family and God and country. That's like a very cool three-tier system to live by, as opposed to being like a fucking agnostic or like whatever. Like I'm shouts out to anybody who's an atheist, but not shout out to you, but I don't know.
It's like a social self-pres disaster.
That was like so scattered. Scattered is the word that comes to mind. He's lost in the fucking clouds of social self-pres, this and that. And well, actually, no, this specific little thing, that's what we align with. Well, no, like 200 years ago when it first started, not now. And he just keeps fucking going. It's funny though. Because I think he has a vision. You can tell he's like trying to translate the vision. He gets lost in it. That seven fix comes out, seven wing six. It's just like, yeah, but also this other thing.
I did entertain one wing nine fix for him at one point, but I don't know. I think he was a tough one, and I usually find if they're tough, there's like more the harder they are to type, the more attachment there is in their type.
Hmm.
Is usually the case,
Yeah,
but
we can look for it. We gotta look for that frustrated three.
um he has this thing which we don't have to watch, but it was like him giving a lecture on aesthetics as
Oh yeah,
well.
I want to see some of this. This will be
Okay,
good.
well, I guess we can just jump around because who cares?
Yeah.
But he definitely has like the shame thing going on where he's always kind of like sort of hiding himself a little bit, which makes me also think he has like nine, like an extra withdrawn aspect to him. It's like he's assertive, but then he's also withdrawn. So,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And make it a subconscious maneuver just because it's like probably my favorite designer, Rick Owens. People ask him like, you know, there's always mood boards for a lot of designers or this or that. Like, and they ask him, there was one interview, I think New York Times asked him, like, what do your mood boards look like? Like, where do you take your references
Okay.
from, inspiration? Like,
Okay, yeah, I see. He's a three. Like this, now it's obvious. When it's just him and he has control and he's doing the presentation, now it's clear that he's a three. I see what you saw now.
mhm. And it's so curated and it feels social self-pres, like with his scarves and his like
Mm,
he's like doing this whole
right. Images from the void, that's literally three with a four-way.
like precious too. And I feel like three wing fours can be kind of fragile, like fours.
Yeah.
He has because he has this sort of like wispy, like shy kind of thing about him. But it's weird because he does like he's like kind of an asshole, like a seven. Where is it?
Hmm.
Literally here, he's playing with a fucking hammer. It's like so
Oh yeah, let me
unhinged.
see. Let me see.
we live in the same shitty town, and I was doing some photos one time with Luca in LA, and Luca was all, "Yo, I have this model who looks like punk rock. He's sick." And it was Chandler, and like Chandler met us, and we shot him, and then that's that story. And then I met him like that. And then you told me to pick up a pair of drumsticks and don't stop practicing. You didn't tell me for a year that you want to be in your band. Yeah. And then you're still not in the band. You just said that. But yeah, I always wanted to be in a band, and I'd rather be with someone who's crazy than like a normal person who has a good.
He seems like triggered in a 3-7 way too, where he's like trying to control the narrative a
Yeah, that's
lot.
very aggressive. You're still not in the band. I mean, he could be joking.
I know.
But yeah, it's pretty blunt for, it's got to be assertive.
And I have noticed, like, because I think that the other one's probably three as well, but I've noticed that, like, Noah's a lot more competitive. Like, he's kind of more like, all right, like he does the thing that I associate with threes, which is like they try to like elbow you out of the picture. It's like, no, 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 this is like,
Yeah.
this is the picture that's being painted. Okay, you're over here.
Yeah,
And
and that's also a good argument for 4 and 6 wing coming together, like that just emotional pushing people, that reactive emotional pushing people with the social self-pres. So it's like, get the fuck out of my ideal picture or get in line with my ideal picture.
yeah, um, sorry, do you want to add anything, Holly?
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'm just listening.
Ooh, I just had like some weird tinnitus moment. I I just saw something on Telegram the other day that they're blasting out frequencies, and I was like, I think I know when they're doing it, but I'm just not going to go down that rabbit hole because I like that this guy, the Chandler, has like bullets on his chain.
Oh
He
yeah, I
has
did.
some like he has a kind of sparkly social sexual like, but there's hexad like I'm dangerous kind of stuff. We don't have to watch this one. This is when they were like a bit younger, I think. But oh, and this is okay. Well, this is the Noah guys. So the one we think is 314 is his feed.
Hmm.
So it's he kind of mostly just his art or his like photographs, which seem very competency core to me. Or like three-ish. I think he deletes stuff or something all the time. I'm not really sure. But he just it's kind of like miserably corporate or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
What is this?
Sorry?
Was it him that was naked?
No, no, no. I think it's just some
Oh,
guy.
oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, he's probably trying to put people in it that look like him a little bit. He's
He's
a
got
three.
some
Yeah,
interesting.
looks social self-pres with like a little bit of pulling from sexual social a little bit.
I part of the reason I lean social self-pres is yeah, he just seems very elitist and like
Yeah, it's hard to understand. It's hard to get in there to see what he's doing.
I watched one interview too where he was kind of talking about like not that like SP can't go through monastic periods, but he went through I mean, whatever. But he was talking about like actually there's a little bit more in here where he says some sorry, this is why this is why I shouldn't do live streams, but then I always feel like I want to do a live stream because they're more fun. Can't edit out my mumbling. Okay.
It's just cool core tenets to live by. I feel like even if you don't believe in it, it's still something to admire. Like I admire Buddhists. And I don't believe in anything they're practicing, but I think it's very interesting and a very cool way to live. So anyway, genre.
Well, I mean, I would say, expand upon that. It's like just now coming to my head. It's like, you have countries like China or Russia, which are much larger than America. But when you think about those countries, the first thing that doesn't come to your mind isn't sprawling, large, giant. You think America, you think fucking the biggest shit you've ever seen. You know what I mean? You think, yeah, Texas, man, Texas. You think Texas.
Do you see what I mean about like maybe three wing too? There's sort of this like kind of eager Americana thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I can't remember.
Sorry, people were asking on the chat, is this guy FELV in AP, do you think? Felv?
Oh, I didn't even. I need to like. Which one? The left guy?
I think so, yeah.
FELV? Yeah, he's either that or LEFV, one of the two.
Trying to remember to check the chat this time. So yeah.
No, we can't. No, we love Texas. It's the best
Yeah, there's
fucking
two
state in America.
or two wing.
So I'm sure you guys get asked a lot, like what musical influences you guys have, but I wanted to ask what unconventional influences have shaped your aesthetic, like anyone or anything like the fans wouldn't expect.
There's this Airbnb commercial that was only a YouTube ad commercial. It's like 30-second spot. It was never aired on television, but it's so brilliant. It's so sick. It's so beautiful. I don't even want to tell people about it. It's so good. It's so, but it's like it like flat. It just flashes imagery. Like it's like it's a dial tone. It's like, or like when you call somebody, and an images flash with it. So it's like people on vacation, black, different photo on vacation. And then like it's like white millennials on vacation in Barbados or some shit. Like it's a perfect Airbnb target market. Like they have like the little silicone.
Like you can see like his friend is just like
Mhm.
fucking turned away, like, oh, here we go again. But what do you think? Like, I don't know, maybe he is one fixed or something. He's got like a huge visionary thing. He's like just keeps commanding the stage. But I think
Yeah, it's definitely 7 second. I know that much because he's frustrated that he can't like explain things correctly. That's why he actually could be a 3L in my system now that I think about it, but he's getting pissed off, like irritated because he's like can see it perfectly in his mind, but he's just having a hard time translating it, which I always associate with 7 but ones get pissed off about that too, so it could be either.
On Valley, like tech inspector glasses on, like, and they're swimming in like the ocean. It's brilliant, and like it's low budget, and it's like eerie. It feels like a horror movie because that's what we're living in. We're literally living in like this almost like post-apocalyptic symposium of America, but like you're taking a vacation from it, but you still can't escape it. And that's the score, the most familiar thing like any of us can think of. And it's 30-second spot, and then it like ends with like this really beautiful 3D rendering of like the Airbnb app, and like that's when the beep for the voicemail happens. It's genius. It makes me wish I can only direct commercials.
is that existential in your type? Because this is so existential.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's yeah, existential first. I mean, he's just going ham on like what's the meaning of all of this. Yep. And that goes well with there are a lot of social self-pres that are existential first, so it makes sense. Yeah.
I've ever seen.
I was just gonna say that was a lot of 7 in that part. Like I'm starting to consider, is this head type or is it heart second or is it heart first?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he is a 3, but I mean, I'm open to it, but because I thought at first that he was a 7, but then I could see this attachment. One of the interviews that I found, he went on this like kind of existential crisis 3 sort of
Mm.
3 or spin out.
Do you
He
have
doesn't.
it? I just want to see that like smoking gun. Actually, when he was doing his little whatever, his talk, I could see it more.
He does something in this interview too. I should have
Oh,
timestamped
okay.
it. I never
It's okay.
care. Where he does, and then the other guy's rolling his eyes. The other guy who, I mean, anyways, whatever. So we have to get to the other guy too, who is
Yeah.
the one I was like really stalking the most. Um, but yeah, he does some tells to me that are not core 7, and he also doesn't seem like he's so blown away by his own ideas that he literally doesn't finish anything, and I think that's sometimes what happens to 7s. But
Yeah.
My life, and everyone should watch it. I don't know, just have an Airbnb commercial.
I'll check it out, I guess.
and also being inspired by a commercial just seems like some weird 3-wing 4-7 shit. Like it's like picking some esoteric but like mainstream anti counterculture by being like I don't know. Anyways, oh, bye,
Yeah,
Holly.
he got insecure there. He was like, I don't know, take this thing away from me. I'm starting to not make sense. So I think that was like a image moment.
I would say the first Halo game, Halo Combat Evolved. I remember the first time I played that shit, like specifically the second mission when you pop out of the escape pod. And it was the first time I'd ever played a first person shooter. Like that was not popular at the time. Because before that it was like you had like Doom on the PC, you know, it was 2-dimensional graphics, you know, and Halo I don't know. There's just a feeling that I had, like we were talking about, like America. It was large. It was sprawling. I didn't even believe you can make video games that felt that large and that, different, that new. And I would say with music, that's the only thing that inspires me is just that feel. I'm trying to reclaim the feeling I got when I had Halo 1 for the first time when I was like 7 years old. It's the only feeling I'm looking for, that or when I had Halo 3 when I was in middle school. So yeah, I would say unconventionally, I would say Halo is the biggest inspiration. I'm trying to reclaim that feeling at all times. Well, there's just nothing else that's ever given me that. It's been that, Lord of the Rings and Blade Runner 2049 are the only things that have ever really like struck a chord.
First of all, like what if you look on the left, Noah's doing like duck face or something. It's weird.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he's doing it right now.
what did you think about the Chandler guy talking about like Halo? Like I don't know, that weirdly seems like 3-5 and like SP last. Like I'm trying to reclaim the feeling of playing a video game from my childhood. Like what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah,
Are you
it's interesting that and why is he telling us that? That's
saying
trying to
shit?
reclaim a feeling. Hmm.
I feel like he might just be saying it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious. He also got weirdly specific about graphics and how this is like comparing graphics from then until now. Like we're supposed to fucking know that.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation.
Bored with me, really. Everything else I don't really give a shit about. I don't know. I'd say, but yeah, no, I would say Halo is akin to what we were talking about with America earlier, which is like sprawling landscape, large, like just being completely blown away by the size of something, you know what I mean? Monolithic.
Multimedia artists, how does one like art form influence another one you do? Like let's say your visual work and your music, for example. Would you say they influence each other at all?
Well, I mean, I guess for me specifically, like with photography right now, I'm really in this era of restraint, like such high levels of restraint that things can be misconstrued to the normal person as being like just a shitty photo or like not good, almost amateur, like such restraint that it almost feels like you're going backwards, but really you're standing still. The camera's just moving forward or backwards. You're just really indulging in that moment. So like an idea I might have two.
You're nodding.
Yeah, I think he's one fixed.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
either fun fix or it's like some kind of weird competency line to one in the head center thing where he's like, because it could even be just the seven center being like, I'm expressing restraint like for the first time in my life, like kind of.
true, but there was some annoyedness about how people are wrong, and he was expressing that, which is pretty rare for a 9 fix to just outright do that. Usually they'll like sneak it in, or it's usually
Maybe
not
he
about
is.
people being wrong. It's usually about people being rude or mean or something like that. So that was kind of my clue. And just the more I hear him talk, the more I'm like, oh, he actually does have a lot of like pretty rigid opinions.
Yeah, I get the impression, but I could be wrong, that he might be difficult to work with.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, which makes me think there probably is a 1 in there. He's just annoyed. There's something about him, his energy that's annoyed. That's why originally I was like, wait, is this 4 fixed? But
Yeah,
it could just be 7-1 with a 4 wing. So he would be what? He'd have that 4-7-1,
triple
whatever
frustration.
that's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago will not work now, like that might be more bombastic, or like we did the little Enemy tour New York LA thing like a year and a half ago, and like I had some like Craigslist type extras on stage kind of recreating some of the music video ideas that we would have on stage, and I would never do that now. It's too much. People are trying to do too much now, and like photographically I'm not dealing with like very rich tonality and like that Stephen Meisel Vogue era anymore that I was trying to kind of go after a little bit, and I used to have much like I used to be artistically I wanted to do that more, but now it's highly restrained soccer mom imagery, very bland. Like my whole thing is like what would a soccer mom, if she took the best photo of her life, that's what I'm trying to duplicate every time. You're like, wow, mom, how did you take that? Like with your little camera, like that's what I want. Still professional, but like this intrinsically perfect moment of the in between. So transposing that to music.
That's one. That's 1 fix.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
talking about like the soccer mom moment. Like I feel like this is his seven head just coming in here to like make it retarded. Like
Yeah, yep. Make it as stupid as possible and as random. But he's also saying like there is a perfect version of this, and that's why I got rid of these people. They were making it too complicated. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't that perfect thing that I was searching after, which to me it shows one, like there is a place that this thing needs to be in. It's very physical, right? There's this time and place that this thing needs to be, and other people are making it wrong. So I need to just take control and do it for myself. It's one wing nine, really.
yeah, you know what too? I don't know what you type David Bowie, but he sort of looks like David Bowie a little bit. Like he has that kind of uptight, prissy.
Mm-hmm.
Even right there, actually, that looks like David Bowie-ish, like to me in some way, but like
Yeah,
without the sexual
yeah,
looseness or whatever. Like he kind of interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
I've
he
never
does have it.
thought
Yeah, and David Bowie, I'm not sure what his type is. I thought maybe he was 937 or 947, but either way, he definitely has frustration.
I type him three wing 471, but
Either way, we both see a shit ton of frustration, so that makes sense. I haven't, well, maybe I did type him. I can't remember.
I'm trying to find. Sorry, yeah, again, I didn't organize this, so um,
It's the same thing. It's really simple because right now we're in this age of overproduction and hyperproduction. Even though I really like the hyperpop scene or like the SoundCloud people, I really
so
like that stuff. And
people.
honestly, that's like
Trying.
shit. Like I even do now, I just won't change. Like there has to be restraint, repetition, and truly at least indulging in who you are for better, for worse in that moment, and then ubiquitously pushing that on everything else in your life, even if you die over it or not. Like you have to stand for something, not
Stand.
just.
That's
But,
one. What the fuck?
A similar theme between like soccer mom and like low budget Airbnb commercial and then like family. I don't know. It's very. I see like it goes full circle. I would say.
I think I just like family because I don't think I'm ever gonna have a family. I would love one. I would love a wife, and I would love kids. That's all I
This
want.
is where I was like, he's doing a three thing, as well. I mean, besides all the millions of three things he's already done, but you watch his friend's face, watch Chandler's face while he's talking. It's like he's like
Oh yeah,
literally
yeah. I
lying.
haven't.
I don't think I'm ever gonna have a family. I would love one. I would love a wife, and I would love kids. That's all I want. But I chose one path in life, and I made a lot of sacrifices and dedicated myself to a specific thing to be this guy for better, for worse. And you
Three.
can't just jump over to the other path. Like I really would love a wife. I dream about it all the time. I would love it, but I just don't think it can happen because I chose one way, and it is what it is. So yeah, it's kind of that grass is greener over there, so it's very inspiring. Like the SSX
Wow.
video where it's
Grass is greener, so seven as well.
Yeah. It's seven and one. Like he's literally saying, I chose this path. I'm not gonna go on that other one. I'm purposefully limiting myself from doing the other path. He's like explaining one. That's interesting.
Um, yeah, yeah, I'm really seeing it now more than now that we're talking about it.
Hmm.
I feel bad because I also want to watch the other guy. So we'll watch a little bit of the other guy, Chandler. I'm just closing some tabs before I open it. So yeah, he does these like live streams on his like Instagram, and then people record them and post them on YouTube. And here's one where someone asked him about being special
Yeah.
ed.
He doesn't have sunglasses on.
Finally.
Heard of the pink guy.
Do I believe in autism? Yeah, dude. I was in special ed, man. I was in special ed, dude. You guys can talk all the shit you want, dude. I was in special ed. I got receipts. I was in special ed. I think my mom thought I was autistic. She'll never admit it, but I was in special ed, dude. I remember that. I remember all the kids I was with, Maddie and Drake. Those fools couldn't even speak English. God bless their little hearts, man. They were great. Maddie and Drake, and there's this kid named Noah, coincidentally, that I was in class with. I looked him up on
Facebook the other day, and he's totally still autistic. I don't really remember much of it. I just remember like having to go to like another school like in the middle of the day, and I'd go and do like speech therapy and shit. Apparently, like I wouldn't talk to like other kids, but I remember talking to other kids. I don't know. It was a weird chapter in my life. I mean, granted, I was like 4 or 5 years old. Like I wasn't like in high school in special ed. Though I did get sent to a remedial school with all the delinquents and like pregnant kids. My junior or senior year of high school, and I dropped out. But I've been notoriously known to be in class and to be in special ed classes, basically. You know, when did I leave education? I think I was like 20, maybe 19.
What
I mean,
the hell?
case for like, is he seven fix? I just think he's a social sexual. I think he's like a himbo five fix.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Uh, he's strange. He's so random, just like, yeah, and there were some autistic kids there, and the remedial school where all the pregnant girls are. Like, it's just like, huh? But
There has to be something hexad because I feel like he's so unfiltered. He's not like processing like
he feels like a hexad core to me. I'm not seeing attachment.
I thought he was a five at first. Like that's literally why I started looking at them was because I saw this meme, but
Uh-huh.
then I jokingly memed into the Enneagram of him and I was like, he's hot. Like, who is this creature? And
Mhm.
then one of my friends DM'd me and was like, oh, it's this band that I like. They were on a podcast that I watched. And I was like, well, tell me, send me the details. Like, is this a hot five that I found? Like, does my quest continue? But then I was like, he seems kind of like a three wing two to me. On like a he has like this whole like I want to be a rock star thing. Like I just don't think he could be a core five, but I think
The
he's five.
problem I have with being a core three is when he is just blurting out bullshit that doesn't seem to match his image. Well, maybe it is, but he doesn't seem to be, because you know how image types do the thing where they're looking at you, looking at them, and you're just like, you don't know what's quite real. I don't get that from him for some reason. I get more of like, I'm just gonna blurt out some shit that bounces around in my brain all day. It feels head type.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my impression. The other guy
He,
seems more like a three, like he's
he
watching
does
you watch him.
he does talk about a lot of the same stuff that I talk about, but I don't think he's a seven wing six. Like
Mm-mm. He
he
feels like
look
five wing six.
he looks like a five to me. Like he
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah,
here
like
I'll
a
show
social sexual five. Like, yeah.
like he has that like but yeah, with social sexual, so he doesn't have
Yeah,
like the
look. That
walled off robot thing. He has like a hot robot. He's like the warmest machine or something. It's like
yeah,
he's
that's this is all
I
five.
don't
It
know,
almost
he's
can look
a
four because
model and he
it's
wanted to go into fashion. I don't know if I see like a core five. Like he's very into like fashion and preening and modeling and like being this like beautiful object. Like I don't
uh
know. I almost think his head type shit is like in service of his image is like some kind of like this to me he look like he doesn't he looks too hot to be a five like he looks too like which is reductive and I used to think that kind of shit was like fake news until I realized all the people I thought were hot fives are actually threes. um but he has like
he
I
reminds me of the lead singer of The Verve. Remember him?
um
Who I
is
think
Yeah,
might
I
be.
agree, by the way.
that
It
really
totally
Yeah.
looks like him.
Yeah,
pictured.
who might be a five. They have the same mannerisms and everything, but you might think he's a three though, Larissa. But I think it's both.
Well, he also kind of looks like Killian Murphy to me, who I think is a 359, but with no sexual in his stacking.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't think fives, even with social sexual, can look like that. Like I just I feel like this is three area. This is like
Uh,
beautiful. model fucking, and he does like a lot of social signaling in a like I mean, we can watch more of him though, but even his tattoos, he has like a, I think like a PBR tattoo or something. Like I don't know if I see Fives doing this stuff that he's doing, but yeah, we can watch. Yeah, this is paywalled, so hopefully I don't get in trouble if I'm doing this, but whatever.
Come from?
Hey.
He does go on some rants in here, and so this is like, you can see the 5 or 7, I think. I think it's 5, but
Yeah.
obviously, but he goes on some rants in here a little bit, but you can kind of see this like. This is where I started to think that Noah has 6 figs. So I was like, he's way more conscious of like the social nuance or the social ramifications of shit that his buddy in the band is saying, and like, and also there's this whole part where he goes on about fucking a stripper at the back of his show and how much she squirted. It's like I have a giant dick and all this stuff. So I can see why you would think like not an image type, but I don't know why. I just feel like he is. He has to be.
Yeah, I can't wait for this.
Hey guys.
He's been beamed
What up?
in.
I've been beamed in. What's
Yes.
going on, guys? How we doing?
Now we got Chandler on the couch. Damn.
I'm here.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I want to check your guys' frame real quick. Yeah, sure.
And we can check the frame.
So you guys are in New York. You're here to do that. Last night was the first Help show of a few.
It was.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah. First of all, speaking of how you guys look, let's just say our appreciation for you guys wearing tight pants, because we're the two tight pants.
We really, because like, we
holdouts
were
in New
the
York.
we become.
Oh yeah, the voices are terrible. I think that this podcast is run by a couple of nines who like don't want to show their identity or something, so they like obscure their voices to sound like anime villains or something. It's so stupid and it's hard to listen to. So yeah.
I've been the only 2 guys holding that down in New
Yeah,
York
people
for
don't
the past
understand what we're
15
doing.
years.
Yeah.
And now
Ugh, this is
You're
annoying.
excited you want to take on the world, but it just doesn't work like that. Or some shit. You said something crazy.
The whole interview was just me eating licorice, fighting back tears, then being like,
We were eating I ate hella.
yeah, I was wondering if this interview is going to be like an early Crystal Castles, like we can't see Ethan Katz's eyes or Alice Scott. You know, it's just like really like.
We're like
we like to
adults now.
talk and we have
You're
huge
happy.
egos and we like people to know things
Yeah,
about
haven't you
us.
spoken?
Yeah.
Like, ever someone told me he was like, oh yeah, he spoke at Yale. I was like, oh, he's a talker. I was
Yeah.
like, what the
That
fuck?
wasn't me. What the fuck? That was Lucian who started at Yale. I did speak at Yale. I also got COVID at Yale. So shouts out, thanks for that campus for giving me an uncurable long haul disease. I did speak at Yale. It was
It's probably from EMF and other things, but anyways, we'll go into that.
actually a very fun
But
experience.
that's interesting that he does do all these talks at Yale, because that does seem kind of 3-ish just right out the gate.
I am from lower middle class. I mean, very poor growing up early on. And you see Yale in movies, you see Harvard, you watch Gossip Girl. It is exactly like that. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I
Yeah.
cannot believe the hierarchy, the archetype of just the Yale man.
Right.
Ridiculous. And I gave a speech, like, I don't know, like 100 people or something, and it wasn't very good. I wrote it on the plane over, and I just came up with random terms. I just thought about, like, what's the hallmark of an artist? It's coining new phrases, like Warhol, the superstar, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
forever. So I was all, I need to coin something. So
Yeah, do you?
Wow. Yeah. He's definitely 371 or 317, I think. There's so much like competency happening. He's so specific about everything, really. I mean, he can't go 1 second without, I don't know, giving like more data about what he's talking about, which feels competent to me.
Yeah. I think I'm ready to end his TED Talk.
Yeah.
I want to hear Chandler's ideas, because he
Yeah.
actually talks about shit that I'm interested in. Thanks for being a head type, but I'm open to that. I just find it hard. I don't know if like if this is possible. Like anyway.
have been opening up a little bit and making some weird kind of cryptic tweets implying that whatever aliens are fucking around here like have always been here, which I'm kind of into because I don't think aliens and UFOs are real because it's all just gatekept by the government, and like it's clear as day that NASA and every other space agency in the world are lying to us. If people want a real good frame of reference for how they're lying, one, join every flat Earth Facebook group you can because they don't know they don't know the answers, but they do
Union
know.
Square's that way, bro.
Like that voice over, I don't even know. I can't, like, ugh. Anyways, he speaks. We live in a fucking dome. We live in a simulation. Anyways.
Pages, and you can still find the Instagram page. It's called Facebook Flat Earthers. And I would take these people's profile pictures and I would paraphrase the comments they would make because I was very curious as to what led these adults to believe the Earth was flat. And all it made me realize that space agencies are lying. And it led me to this incredible documentary. I believe it's called Celestial. There's 2 of them. They're on YouTube. Maybe they took them down. I don't know.
I've heard it's called Celestial. Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's all these people who have these like $60,000 telescopes and focus on the moon for like weeks at a time, get it perfectly in focus, and then they record all the footage, and it's like, yo, this is like a hella colorful celestial planet filled with lights and movement and shit going on, but every space agency in the world is basically just muting all these photos, making it think that it's just barren nothingness out there and shit like that. So that's where I really started to understand that aliens and UFOs and shit are all just gatekeeping.
The moon has been populated.
Yeah, the moon has some fucking gnarly shit on it, no doubt in my mind. Even though the footage is fake, the footage of the moon landing footage is fake. It's clear as fucking day. It's like it's on a set. Like,
We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Or it's like I'm getting my information from TikTok now. It's like on TikTok, the people who astral project. The people who astral project, they're like, we can never astral project into Area 51. There's like a dome around it. We can never astral project onto the other side of the moon.
Viewing,
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think this is like the intersection in 5 and 7 head.
Yeah, I agree. I'm so lost though. I'm just trying to figure him out and I can't.
I feel like I'm aroused. I'm like, yeah. One of my friends thinks I'm sapiosexual, which is not true, but it's like, oh, there's something to it.
Oh, like his brain.
Yeah. Like a little Hannibal Lecter licking up some ice cream that came from inside.
Just one lick, one taste, one crumb.
I do believe them. As clear as I believe in chemtrails, I do think I've been heavily affected by chemtrails. I do think it's a neurological suppressant, and I 100% think that I have been negatively impacted by that. And I think that is why I'm a burden on the American healthcare system.
They're seeding the atmosphere 110%. The government's lying to us. It's unbelievable. But what you're saying, what did you say earlier that kind of got me kind of excited? What's going on?
I forget, what did I say?
Yeah, and they're right. So if you think this is fake news and you're watching this, that's because you live in a fucking bubble of your own media creation. It's really obvious, and you can tell because you get sick after being outside when they're doing it. It's crazy. Gotta take shit for your thyroid. Anyways, I'm a little bit drunk. I'm not gonna go on a big rant.
We've activated activated the social 7. She's ready.
I forgot my thought. Okay. But I feel like you can tell their instincts too just by watching how they hold themselves. Like,
yeah, this guy's much more loose. Like, despite him having the robot Trifix, he's much more loose and kind of just lets it fly.
I guess maybe we can like try to zero in on what his core type is. Like I still lean 3-wing too, but maybe it is 5. I feel like if it's 5, it's 5-wing 4 though. Like aesthetically he looks 5-wing 4 influence to me, but
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Something feels 4 about him as well. I don't know if it's just the hair or what, but
yeah. And 9-wing 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, beaming shit in people's heads.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. For anybody who sees this and hasn't seen my tweets about it or any Instagram posts and all that, there's something everyone needs to read, and you guys need to read it too if you don't know. Kyle Odom's manifesto. Do you know who Kyle Odom is?
No.
Kyle Odom was a mass shooter in I believe 2017, 2016. And basically this dude went to a pastor in Idaho, came to Idaho, trained ex-Marine with a handgun, fully loaded with hollow point bullets, shot this pastor, unloaded a clip into this guy. At least 6 bullets hit this dude, and one of those hollow point bullets came into his skull and missed his brain by like an inch, and he miraculously survived. And if you guys know about hollow point bullets, like what they do, like they fucking destroy your shit. They blow up inside of you. This dude got hit in the head with one. He's alive. Anyway, Pastor Tim Remington, now he's I believe he is now a legislator, lawmaker, whichever it is, in Idaho now. Basically, this kid, very smart, ex-Marine. I think he was a biochemist, something like that, studying one of those really nerdy things that I cannot explain or describe because I'm not too intelligent and never went to college. But this dude was very stressed out with school, so he started.
I was just gonna say that's 5. Like he's telling his fear there, where he's like, I'm not that intelligent. I promise I'm not. But meanwhile, he's telling us this entire detailed story of, you need to go look this up because this is important. This is the thing that I found. And then he proceeds to tell us this giant story about it, but then ends it with, but I'm not that smart. And it's like, that just feels like 5 fear to me. I don't know what. I'm not arguing for 5 core. I'm just saying I see 5 stuff too.
Yeah, no. Well, but I feel like 5s are also hubristic, so it's like weird.
True.
Like
True.
about their mental center, but it is actually an interesting point because he is kind of self-deprecating a lot. And so where is that coming from? Because that's usually coming from 6, 4,
Sometimes 9.
yeah, 9. I mean, it could be his like he's not like I feel like his
Is he a
like
549? Like that's not possible, is it?
I think he's 3 fix, but
Yeah.
he has like this whole thing with Blink 182 that just I don't know, to me somehow screams 3 wing 2. I've been stalking him because I was like, this is a mystery, you know, like I'm trying to solve the riddle. Like, what is 5? Like, what are the various shades of 5s? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, I think the reason I'm getting 5 from him is because when I encounter them, it always feels like they're trying to teach me something that they know about, that they know I'm not going to know about. So they always bring up these off the wall things, and they really want me to get it and know that they're the driving force of the information. That I always get that feeling with 5. So I'm kind of typing off of my reaction and not being theoretical, but that's what I get from him. And I'm just like, wow, that is a lot of 5. It could just be 5 fix. 5 fixers give me the same feeling. I guess we would just have to look at, is the content he's spewing, is it image or is it head type stuff? Like, is this information or is this
I feel like
heart?
I feel like it's in service of his thing that I feel like it's in service of his social sexual thing he's doing, where it's like his like interesting ideas. Like it's like this is also why I feel like if he's an image type is through too, because it's like he's kind of sloppier, he's kind of looser and more like fun and peoply and like kind of like up for a good time. But then he has all like he pulls in these like strange, though they're not strange because they're real, but they seem strange to people who are like in their matrix pod. So he like pulls them out, I think, almost as these sort of like conversational hooks or something. But
Yeah.
sexual
Either
is
way,
not.
I can tell he has 4 influence, 5 influence, and 8 influence. So that would make sense that those would all be his wings or whatever, other than the 5.
You have thoughts on this, Holly?
I was listening to both arguments. I'd say maybe at least 5 fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has like the kind of grungy 9 wing 8. Like he seems like the kind of guy who would just sleep on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pile of
Yeah.
nachos and like cum socks or something.
Right.
So 4F.
Yes, definitely.
And I feel like 5s with 1 or 8 can be weirdly paranoid and controlling, and he doesn't really give me that energy, but
No,
seems
he
like
seems almost like gleeful. He has a gleeful feeling. He's just like, oh, all this crazy shit's happening in the world, but isn't that so interesting? Like, you could just dig down forever. Like, there's always more weird shit happening. It does kind of remind me of you, Larissa.
That's partly why I was drawn in like a tractor beam because I have this almost desire to fuck myself.
Yep. It could just be the social sexual piece. I'm not sure, but it's some sort of gleeful. There's like a pop, that I get from him.
Yeah, and he has the kind of gremlin-y, hot gremlin thing that like 5 and 7 fixers have
Hmm.
when they have like, I don't know, whatever. Okay. Oh wait. What am I doing? Okay.
Started meditating. He got into meditation, went to open up his chakras. Halfway through it, he went into a complete sedative state.
Actually, also the story he's telling is kind of a social sexual alien story where it's like he got like raped by an alien or something.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And in that sedative state, a beautiful being came to him, and he started to merge souls with this fucking beautiful fucking woman, and she like totally gave him an orgasm, made him feel great, and halfway through it, he like broke out of it. Was like, what the fuck? Felt entirely great. He felt amazing. He was like, oh my God, that was awesome. But what he did was, allegedly, is he basically revealed to the reptilians that he is too smart and he knows they exist. So then the reptilians started harassing him incessantly, wouldn't let him live because he was too smart. Basically, he tried to kill himself multiple times. They stopped him each time. It led him. Then all of a sudden, he got a random. They told him to get a burner phone telepathically. They told him to get a burner phone. He got it randomly. Got a text message from this man named Tim Remington, his pastor. So he moves to Idaho, starts going to this church. At this church, all these people are fucking reptilians, according to him. They have immense technology we can't even begin to.
This is like ironic because I see like 3-5 stem as like the reptile type, the reptilian type.
Yeah. But then you throw social sexual and it just completely changes the vibe.
Yeah.
Like
Bill
even the
Gates.
other guy who's a fucking 7 fix, just being social self-pres makes him so much more serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
To understand. And they fucked with him. They fucked with him for like months. He tried to kill himself. Nothing worked out for him. And then basically he kind of lost his shit. He was like, I don't want to do this anymore. They threatened his family. He said, I'll do whatever you want. They said, be our sex slave. And then they just kept tormenting him to the point where he took that gun and shot the pastor. But as he did that, he wrote like a 20-page manifesto, shot the pastor, drove to Washington, D.C., went to the White House, threw the manifesto over the gate, and then Secret Service arrested him. And then he went to court, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's schizophrenic. Let's put him in prison, blah, blah, blah. And just read this dude's manifesto, Kyle Odom's manifesto, where he draws what the reptilians look like. He explains everything that they do. I believe it like 75%. I think it's real. 75% of it I think is real. But basically, yeah, telepathic shit. There's some interdimensional shit going on. There's some people out there that are really fucking with us.
I don't know much about that, but I do know a little bit about that. But I do enjoy those videos of Hillary Clinton on YouTube where it's like Hillary Clinton expelling eggs out of her mouth or whatever, or like her
metal leg.
The metal leg. That was true. She does have a body double. All the politicians in Elite have body doubles. Okay.
The one where someone like in a crowd yells at her and she does the weird like spasm thing.
Right.
That video is so fucking underrated. It's like, come on.
And they're all scrubbed off YouTube now.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Every single fucking video that has any type of.
This is making me horny. Yeah, they do have body doubles, and they're not even good. They're not even convincing body doubles. That's why it's super weird. Or like people wearing masks and stuff.
Yeah, that was like the one chick, the princess or the future queen over there in England, wasn't she? Didn't she?
Okay, yeah, she was murdered for sure. I saw some theory the other day that like they used her blood to paint that picture of Prince Charles, and I was like, that tracks. I'm not interested in the royal family because I don't care about the royal family, but someone I know asked me to do a reading on if she was dead or not, and I was like, I got a vibe of like they took her out, she was gonna leave and they took her out, but I don't know if that's true or not. But
Yeah, but I saw some of those pictures of her. I'm like, that is not her. That's for sure somebody else.
yeah, sorry, Holly, are you like, what is happening?
No, I liked their conversation. It was like very conspiratorial, which
No.
yeah, is always interesting.
Yeah, I think they killed her. I mean, all those people though are Marina Abramovic, like all of those, that whole swath, Oprah, all of them. They're all
Oh
sick.
yeah, they're up to some weird shit with those spiritual dinners. I saw that.
Oh, that's
And
weird. Yeah.
Lady Gaga, yeah.
Yeah, she's in on it, and then she had a mental breakdown. It's like, girl, you've been selling your soul. That's why you had a mental breakdown.
Well, what's interesting too is like, and my friend Taylor, who's actually commenting, we're gonna do some episodes, which maybe you'd be interested in too, Rob. But we're gonna
Yeah.
type some of the one percenters. I've been meaning to do this since like basically I started the channel, but because there are typological trackings, so which is
Mhm.
super interesting to like watch this because, like for example, Chandler has some of the typological overlaps with these like one percenter freaks, like with 3 and 5, I think.
Yeah.
Um, like it's like Bill Gates is like a 538. Actually,
Mhm.
that's a good one to compare because if you look at like their energy, or maybe he's a 539. I feel like he must be 8 because he's too
Oh
evil.
yeah, it feels 8.
But it's like he's kind of like doing this sort of thing, like where it's like he. Sorry, Holly. I know that you're like, wait, what? Because you're going through your own typing thing. I'm like roasting the fuck out of it. Sorry. But it's like Bill Gates versus even if, but can you imagine Bill Gates as a social sexual? It still would not look like this. Do you know what I mean? Like this would not be,
That's
it
true.
would
Well,
not,
who are some social sexual 5s?
I don't
Like
fucking know. Well, is
Grimes, is she one?
I think she must be a 7. She has to be a 7. I typed
Uh,
her 7 because, if she's a like, yeah, I got mad about that because I was like, if she's a 5, then I'm a fucking 5. So I was like, she's a 7.
uh,
Not budging on that. But I do think that she has maybe like 4 and 5 heart, and maybe I fucked up her gut fix, and it might be actually like
oh yeah, it
8 or
might be
something.
the 4-wing 5. Yeah, he does have kind of similar energy to her, but she doesn't. Well, yeah, they are kind of similar. Yeah, it's probably just the 4-5 space because his 5 has to be 5-4.
Yeah, I think it's 5. He to me looks 5 wing. Like that's where I started, where I was like, he must be a 5 wing 4, and
Yeah, and
then I
he's
was
not
like,
apologizing for anything either, so that's no 6.
yeah, for sure, he doesn't apologize. He's just,
And
but
even
I,
with
but
3-2 in there, like, 3-2 is a little more. Well, yeah, adding 3-2 and 5-4 is strange.
yeah, because he's got like triple heart on top of his 5 head weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
He does have this whole thing about like Americana and like rock star and like I don't know, this American Beautiful experience or something.
Mm.
I mean, we can watch a little bit of this one too if we feel like it. If, I don't know. I like watching them because they're pretty, but we don't have to keep watching them.
No, it's okay. It was fun. I like this.
This is the one where the Noah starts having existential crises, but
I'm just short of 10 years, but no more than 2.
With like all this shit going on with like influencers like infiltrating LA and people leaving back to Texas, what's like one of the weirdest things you like experienced here?
So basically, Chandler and I have been coming to LA initially like 3 years ago, interstitially. I've come from Colorado. He would come from Northern California, Sonoma, and I just made it a point I needed to find like the coolest restaurant, like some place where I could feel LA.
that's some 3 drop right there. Social 3. Well, social self-pres 3.
As opposed to like coming from Colorado, I wanted to feel the LA vibe and like immerse myself in whatever this place is. So I found this restaurant that was on Fairfax, and it was like a list-only restaurant. And somehow I got on the list, and they basically verify you and check you out for months and make sure you're like cool enough to get in. Blah blah blah. This whole thing, and I went there, but I brought Chandler and I brought our 2 other friends at the time, and we were brand new to LA. And
It's like our 3rd trip in Los Angeles, I believe. We had been at the restaurant, I think, once prior.
The place is very ominous. there's clear satanic symbolism on the walls, and we thought it's in jest, you know, like, oh, funny. And then it's just the weirdest energy there, and I get some of
And then you tasted period blood in your pie.
That's when you know it's real. Yeah.
You got some like SPSX8 running the kitchen. Shout out to Taylor. That was like an inside joke, just 'cause I know it's in the chat. But even just like the title of this thinner and hotter, that's such a 314 thing that B Sue's pointed out before. She's also
Yeah.
pointed out that that's actually a 3-7 thing, and so I think that that's from a quote from Noah. I mean, I think he probably is one wing nine. I'm like resisting it a little bit, but I think it makes sense because I think one fixers can still have that kind of tiny energy. He might be tall, I don't know, but he has like this tiny energy, this like pointy, frustrated energy.
Yeah, and he's also like less. I thought he was kind of chill at the beginning, but I think that's kind of just his three image stuff he's trying to do. It's like his specific genre of music. He's trying to just be in alignment with that. But then once he starts going, there's so much rigidity that I feel in his belief system, and it makes me think 1/9.
Yeah, I'm glad that we did this together because I was just 369, I think, but yeah, I think it is 371. I circled the drain for him on him for a little while, but and then you look at him and compare him to like Chandler, and he's got like his cigarette, and he's just slouched over, and he's like,
Mm-hmm. And he yaps. I mean, he's a fucking yapper. Like he just goes on, which is what 137s are known for. So,
are they
yes, ma'am.
the visionary type?
it can be psychosomatic, but it was just so overwhelming that I was like, this it just can't be psychological only, perpetuated by myself. But anyway, we order our food. These waiters are acting really peculiar, and we order our food and everything. And push comes to shove, the waitress comes out and she says, the owner wants to talk to you. And we were like, okay. After being looked at for months to even get into this place, and the owner wants to talk to us. We're like, okay. He comes out, he's like, you guys in a band? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, basically he wanted to potentially play a show there, et cetera, et cetera. This is the kind of place that Taylor Swift used to play like impromptu live sets, and like Lady
This is so much social three, like it's like relentless, like so much name dropping, and like this is the coolest place. Like, okay, I want to skip ahead to Chandler talking. But even just like watching their body language again, it's like you can kind of just see the like the gut fixes differences with like 9-8. And also like Chandler being double withdrawn because he doesn't ever he will like take up space when it's like his like weird little head type interest, but like um it's mostly like Noah that's kind of the one like taking up all the space. The double assertive.
On Twitter and Instagram, what is your diss about pornography? What's bad about it?
Oh yeah.
You have this ongoing like dialogue about it constantly on Twitter and Instagram.
Well, I lost my virginity when I was in 3rd grade with 2 neighbor girls. I was exposed to hardcore pornography when I was
I swear I listened to another interview where he said he lost it in like grade 8 or something, so I don't fucking know. And it's probably just being an attachment type. 'Cause I feel like they always lie. There's times they always lie. Anyway. But this is kind of a crazy spilly story to tell.
Oh yeah, this is just turbo social sexual. He's like doing it for the fun of it.
and
Oh my god, sorry. I don't know what I just did. Sorry, do you want to further elaborate, Rob?
Oh, I was just saying you could tell he's doing it for the fun of it. Like, if I tell this story, it's gonna kick up some intrigue, so might as well, and just goes right into it.
it took me a long time to get past it. It took me a long time to, see the psychological effects of it. I will say, first off, at a base level, you're literally, man, you're masturbating to another guy fucking a hot chick. Like, that's the lamest shit you can do on the planet, I think. But also, you could dive deeper into it where, one, it destroys your whole basis of your whole idea of women as people. You're watching women be treated like shit, be abused, and you're masturbating to it. It'll fuck up your emotions, it'll ruin your relationships, and it will completely ruin how sex and women or whoever you're attracted to, how you're stimulated by them, and it warps your perception of intimacy and love and relationships. It's a terrible fucking industry. It's warping every young man's mind right now. It's kind of it has this guise lately where it's like associated with feminism and women's rights, which I think is the complete opposite of it. These women are damaged and brutalized by this industry. There's a reason that there's huge increased suicide rates with ex-porn stars. There's a very good essay on it by David Foster Wallace in Consider the Lobster that I recommend a lot of people read about the AVN Awards in 1998, I think it is. It's just not a good thing to be watching, man. You should be out there. You should be talking to women. You should be fucking hot chicks. I'm speaking from a position of, I would consider myself addicted to pornography a few years ago. In the past 2 years, I've really kicked it. And now my life has been infinitely better. I mean, there's not really much to say. I think there's no valid defense of pornography, the modern porn industry. It's just go on Pornhub, man. Go on there right now. Don't, but if you go on there, the front page, it's incest, gangbangs, anal, fucking bukkakis, all sorts of shit. It just subverts your mind, man. It's the devil's work. And if you are a young man watching this and you still masturbate and watch porn, you need to stop. You need to stop it now, man. It will fuck your life up. Just don't watch.
I've had I like I think we talked about this before, Rob. But
I was just thinking that I'm like, I just sent you an essay, like a voice message essay about energy and pornography and what happens between them. Like, yep, 100% agree with everything you just said.
I think your take on it is through the lens of instincts, but like I've noticed that nine wing eights have this like arc that they go through of like being chronic masturbators and then
Yeah, no, they
like
do.
hating it and hating porn and masturbation. So like that's reductive as fuck. But like I've just noticed that anecdotally that that's a thing. Nine wing eight fixers. But
Mhm.
yeah, you had thoughts on it through the lens of the instincts. Like if you wanted to share about that.
Oh yeah, I just think like a lot of people think pornography is free because it is. I mean, monetarily it's free, but you give away so like people just out here giving away all of their energy like through porn, like through the screen. Yes, you're looking at a screen and maybe you can get on and you get off and then you're done and it's like, okay, yeah, that was easy, accessible, free, but people don't understand that's like your essence. That's your entire like energy that you're giving away and you're not basically what he said, you're not taking that and going out into the world and making something of it with that energy. I mean, yeah, I just think it saps people of their life force the more that they get into that. And first of all, they get addicted to it. And secondly, it destroys like all the whatever oxytocin, everything that you release in your brain. You're just doing it for nothing. It's like not even going towards another person. It's just going for a fucking screen. It's just awful. So yeah, I agree with him 100%. I
Yeah,
think
actually,
people should give
also.
it up. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard that talk before. I feel like he was giving us a sort of a lecture,
Mhm.
maybe based on like his values and personal experience, maybe too.
A couple of the comments. Okay, I don't know how to say it. Pistis Sophia. This is very three in my opinion. I always hear some three talk about no fap.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is true. No fap. Yeah, and people that are trying to get better. Yeah.
Sucking your competency. And then Taylor's like threes love to talk about super ego shit they don't believe in. Could be like he could maybe not believe in it. I don't know. But I think it was like related to his experience as like a young person being like, I don't know, hypnotized by it or something. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, do we? I guess we
Well,
agree.
I have a 3-wing 2 fix, so yeah, maybe that's what it is.
It's like judging your way of connecting with people or something. Like,
Yeah, just what you do with your energy.
okay, that's kind of a beautiful note to end on. Typing. So are we like? I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about him being like a three core? Do you still think he could be a different
Yeah, I
type?
see it. I think the only other possibility would just be switching the 5 and 3, but I'd have to I don't have any examples of social sexual 5, so I don't know. That was just like something I was throwing out there. But I think he's gut type last on top of social sexual, so he's just floaty McFloaty talking head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I think that makes sense too. Yeah. Gut last.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I'm all on board for 3-2, 3-2, 5-4, 9-8 for him, and then the other ones. The other one could be a 3-1-7. Could be no, I don't think he's head last. Probably 3-7-1. Are they both gut last?
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm just sorry, I'm just trying to like form the argument in my own mind because I think if he's a five, he's a five going four. Um,
Mhm.
he looks like it, and he's like into really weird. Like he's not. I don't see him doing any wing sixing. Like that was like the only super ego thing that I even saw in him at all. This whole when I was like stalking for a bit, where he was like it's wrong, but it was just about him. But he doesn't. I don't feel like he's in like nihilistic or like double withdrawn core enough. Like he seems like he likes to splatter himself out there and get attention. And I know that social sexual is like a bit of an attention whore stacking, but even like five wing four, I feel like it would be more attention whoring through their like mental center, and he does it more a lot. Like watch me play with my keyboards. Like
Right.
ask me some questions about myself. Like it's more like sort of I'm just here.
Yeah,
Like he
that's
kind of does the
true.
9-wing-8 like thing. I don't think he's 9-wing-8, but he does the 9-wing-8 thing too. But like I'm just existing. Pay attention to me. Like
That's true. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
and they both imagey as fuck to me, but
They both what?
they both seem imagey as fuck to me. Like they both seem very. Also, they're both kind of like aloof. I think until you get them going on their shit, but
Yeah, so I guess both of them being gut last would make sense then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you almost have to have like if for someone like Noah, he needs to be a someone with double withdrawn so that he can like dominate.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's probably competition that goes on between them too. Just but I like to speculate and I don't have anything to stand on with that. Double three is three versus three. Um, okay, so Chandler, Ransom, Lucy, social sexual, 3-wing 2, 5-wing 4, 9-wing 8. So what does that make him? Makes him 2, 2, 4, 8 shadow type. So that's like double rejection, double heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noah, Dillon, social self pres, 3-wing 4, 7-wing 6, 1-wing 9. Makes him triple frustration,
Mm-hmm.
alter ego, and then 4, 6, 9. So droopy sad sack, shadow type. I can see that too for him.
Yeah.
He seems like he gets pulled into the pit a lot. Like he seems like kind of manic depressive or something. Just what I pieced together.
Yeah, yeah, all those wings coming together actually makes a ton of sense for him now that I think about it. Yeah, because he's
Like
doing the, 137 idealism, blah, 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 listen to my long talk, but then he's looks like a sad piece of shit after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very pouty and like I can just see the frustration and like temper tantrum energy coming out of him. But then
Mhm.
yeah, if he has like 3 and 1 keeping him in check, it's like then his 7 comes out with his little jabs and his little yeah, they're kind of an interesting combo. Um, anyway. Well, okay, it's like 9:30. Do you guys, how do you guys feel? Do you want to type some other random whoever, or do you want to just like end it? Like,
Up to you. I'm not doing shit, so you're leading it. Whatever you want to do.
there were requests, but I don't feel like inspired by the requests. And I know that we're gonna do a typing anyways, like another day that, yeah, that most moist critical penguin
Hmm.
secret
Yeah.
of heart. But you said like he's confusing or
Oh yeah, I have no idea what type he is. I'm just like either 6 or 7 or 9, one of those three.
oh, yeah, he looks like a 9. I mean, we could just look at him for like 3 seconds if
Yeah, I really thought he was a 9, but
he has like the sad, sleepy, associated thing going on.
yeah, he's got the long hair, the 9 long hair, self-preservation.
Recently gotten shorter, just got set to mini from Wumbo as I've gotten older. Or maybe there was some kind of like small earthquake that hit Florida that didn't register on the Richter scale that's caused my house to droop a little bit. But I just don't occupy the whole frame of this camera anymore. I haven't touched it at all, and I feel like I'm like 15% of what's on the screen right now. So maybe I've been hit with like a fucking shrink ray and just gradually getting smaller. I have no idea, but this tangent is useless. What's not useless though is the Save Team Fortress 2 movement. This is a classic, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man moment. I decided to tilt the camera down a little bit. It was really bothering me, and I didn't want to like sit on an apple box to be taller or anything.
What the fuck
Is
is
that
this?
6?
No, I don't think so. He seems like a social self-pres. I don't even know. I almost want to say like 974, but maybe that's wrong.
Yeah, there is something whiny and bitchy about him. That's for sure.
But usually when someone's talking like this, like it's usually not. So
Yeah.
Anything. But the community has been engaged in this war against their creator, Valve, for years now. Team Fortress 2 is an iconic game that is still extremely popular to this day. But it's been left in an abandoned state out alone in the cold rain while Valve does nothing as it is falling to pieces due to bots. Actually, a lot of different things, but it all kind of ties back into bots. And for years now, the community's just been begging Valve to do anything to combat this menace. And 2 years ago, I actually covered their first major attempt called Save Team Fortress 2, Save TF2. I made a whole video going over this. I even went boots on the ground journalism. I investigated it firsthand on the front line. I went into Team Fortress 2 to see just how prevalent the bot issue was.
actually, maybe he's a 5.
Oh God, here we go.
Maybe we've entered the we shouldn't have gone there zone.
Oh shit.
Kind of looks, you know who he kind of looks like? He kind of looks like John Frusciante, who's
Oh yeah, that's true.
I've been wanting to type him for a little while.
He's my same AP type, John.
Frusciante.
I was surprised that he's actually not very tall because he looks like someone who would be tall, but he's not. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
random fact about the guy. Yeah,
The little guy.
yeah, he's like barely taller than me.
And it's bad. So, for those that don't know, Team Fortress 2 has this problem where there are bots that infest the game. In every single game you join, there's most likely going to be bots, unless you stick to community servers, of course, where they have like anti-bot measures. But if you just join like public lobbies, it's going to be bots. And what the bots do is they pick the sniper, they look straight up in the air, they spin around, and they instantly headshot pretty much everyone on the map, killing them immediately. It ruins the game. It's unplayable. It is unplayable, point blank. And 2 years ago, when Save TF2 was popping off, there was enough hoopla, enough uproar that Valve did make a statement that they were going to do something. And everyone celebrated, pumping their fists. Everyone was like Gatorade showers and all of that, thinking that finally Valve is going to do something. And they did, kind of, to a certain extent, but it was a band-aid fix that didn't ever actually tackle the core issue. So fast forward to 2 years later, and it's still in fucking shambles. It still has a massive bot problem. So the community is once again taking up arms, trying their best to beg Valve to do something to save the game that they love.
God, this is making me fall asleep.
Yeah, it's social self-pres. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it is 7, like 794.
I
Like,
don't know, not now. No, I don't want him.
not like angry. No, not like pissed off. Social self-pres 7 with the forfix, annoyed at his gaming people not doing the right thing or whatever.
So I can find like an Instagram. I almost wonder if he could be like a social self-pres 5 though.
Yeah, let's see his Instagram.
Moist Global? Ew. But yeah, he seems like social self-pres just in the fact that he's like on a high horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I can see why you had trouble with him.
Yeah, because he looks like a 9, he whines like a 6, and he gets really frustrated like a 7. So I'm like, which one is it?
He looks like Post Malone.
And none at the same time. You MC squared, I'm Einstein. I'm the new Johnny Cash, well, waterline. Course my boys gon' stay this rich. Miami chillin', got a will like Smith. Physical car maxed out, brand new fish. On my dick, got a
Puke. Also, he kind of looks like never mind, I can't remember the guy's name. There's this like truther on Twitter that he kind of looks like. That's anyway. I feel like if he was a 9, he would have to be a 9 wing 8 because he seems kind of aggressive. But I don't know. Yeah, he's.
What the heck? I can see why you think 7 also. Yeah.
I don't know if core 7s are like this, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
energy comes through like in your well, unless he's a 7 wing 8, but actually he kind of has a Russell Brandy sort of thing about him.
He said, I had to take a shit while hiking.
The new movement is called Fix TF2, and it's the
Whatever that is.
I've got
Mostly him just criticizing things. I was gonna say it's mostly him just criticizing everything.
Maybe he's a 7 wing 8.
Like he'll just go off about anything that he can pick up, really. He picks up, I think, just anything that's in the news that people are mad about, and he usually makes these long ass videos, like making people look even more stupid than they already are.
Horizon 3 collector's boxes here for Magic. But I'm not going to crack all 15 tonight. I'm going to really save myself. I'm going to let these puppies really marinate. So we're going to do 3, then I'm going to move into some gaming. So let's begin. Pretty much all I've done today is play Magic. We also got the collector's precons. and we played a big commander game with the 4 precons there, which lasted 3 hours. Like, we started that game in the morning and didn't finish until the fucking sun was down. Didn't you say you're going to leave card collecting alone because you would go wild and trying too hard to collect them? Yeah, but this isn't card collecting. I'm playing these cards. So it's more than that. It has a purpose behind it. Oh my god.
Totally doesn't have a purpose behind it. I'm wondering 9 wing 8, 7 wing 8, maybe like.
I gotta go, but it was fun though.
Have fun.
Holly.
See ya. Yeah, you said 7 wing 8, and now I'm seeing him do 7 wing 8 shit. It's funny how that works.
I feel like that's already a hit. Birthing ritual, mythic foil. Come on, that's got to be something. Birthing ritual is kind of fire, right? Or am I just an idiot? Birthing ritual, mythic foil, 14 clams. Pack 1 already just generating money. And then
I'm gonna barf. I don't want him to be a 7. If he's a 7, it would have to be a 7 wing 8, but or he could be 9 wing 8, 7 wing 8, like with 3 wing or something that's making him seem more pushy. I don't know. I guess social self-pres or SPSO, but now we're getting into the sort of SPSO. Like, I'm already kind of lost interest, which usually happens to me with like self-pres social.
Yeah. That's why I thought self-pres social too, because he's got this just like a fucking claw machine in his room, and like, I mean, some of that could be 7. That looks like 7.
I usually find 7's funny, and he's not funny. Like, he's actually not funny. So
Yeah, a lot of people do think he is funny though.
probably just like other 9s.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, like you said, he looks like a 9. Could be 9 wing 8, 7 wing 8, 3 wing 4. Then he'd be like 8-4 shadow. He kind of has
Yeah.
in his eyes almost. He kind of has an 8-ish thing. He almost like does have like, could he be an 8? 8 wing 9.
I don't see that just because there's no, I don't know, focus on power or anything like that.
Maybe double 8. Because he kind of visually does have like that kind of 7, 8,
Looks
9.
like Jesus. Yeah, he looks like fucking 9 wing 8 Jesus.
I feel like that combo can look kind of blank too sometimes, and he has that kind of blank look in his eyes where he's like, I don't know who this person is. Hopefully they don't stumble upon this video because I feel like it'd be kind of horrible. But
That looks like some 9 shit right there.
yeah, that's true. Oh my God, that's true. That's so cringe, and that's so SPSO.
Yeah, because he does these long ass social self-pres commentaries on culture and stuff, but the way he lives his life is just really, hate to say it, but normie-ish.
Yeah. Ew.
The dermatologist today and got 2 little warts frozen off, and that.
Ugh. 9 wing 8.
Yeah.
Ugh. 9 wing 8. 7 wing 8.
Update.
Ugh. Okay, I'm like done. This guy's like, I think there's another one right there too. I'm done with this person. 9 wing 8, 7 wing 8, 3 wing 4, SPSO. That's
There we
that.
go. That works for me.
Sorry. Ugh.
I love when your forefix comes out.
I feel like I should have been paid for whatever that was. I feel dirty.
Yeah, I don't like him. He pisses me off.
Yeah, okay. Well, please ask your AP type to Rob. I'm curious. Oh, Rob,
Oh, Larissa. I'm actually not totally sure because I don't think you've ever answered the AP questions. I'll have to ask you some of the questions sometime. But I thought you were FELV.
just like Noah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. FELV. Yeah, because I don't know. Do you get mad about people suggesting like how to live your life or like how to accomplish something? Does that piss you off?
Hmm. I mean, I get annoyed when I'm not asking, like someone just comes into my, like, is like, starts fussing about and telling me, do this, do that, where it's like, where, yeah, I blast them with a, get the fuck away from me, like, because it's like, I'm sorry, what, why do you think that I'm a little bit drunk. Why do you think that your opinion's even relevant?
Oh, opinions
The
though?
West,
But you're
uh,
talking interesting. Yeah, that's 3L. Like I love how because I'm asking you basically about volition, but you don't know the system, so that it's actually better that you don't. And then you use the word opinions, which is more about logic and what people think about your life, what they think the truth is. So
because
that
truth, there is no truth, right? So
yeah,
even
that's 3L. Yeah, you're definitely 3L. I know that much.
is that like the greatest one?
Of course, yeah, because I'm 3L too. That's why.
Baby.
Yeah, you're definitely 3L. And you feel like a 2E to me because you're very open about emotions and how you feel, and you also ask other people how they feel, and you process it out as well. And you change your mind and you're okay with changing your mind and showing it about how you feel about people, which is 2E. And I also feel like you're 1F because you talk so much about like the body, what things can do to the body and like
Do I?
you have control over your it feels like you have control. You feel like you're confident about your surroundings and what you want in your space, which is 1F. No?
I don't know about that one. I feel like I have no control over my surroundings. That's why I don't. Um,
You could be VELF. I've thought about that before.
I feel like I have control over like what I think about.
Mm,
I don't feel like I have control over, like, I feel like I can use my mind to like magnetize people to me or like
that's 2E.
patients, but I don't feel like I have that ability with like tangible physical outcomes or like reality. So that's partly why
Mm.
I don't like it when people like, I mean, I'm talking about self-presence on level, although I know it comes in different packages, but where people start telling me about like self-prezi shit, where it's like, this is what I want for my house, blah, blah. Like, I almost go into a blinding rage. It's like, I don't care. Because it's
Oh,
like,
see, now that could be 1F still because 1F is it's
I don't
oh,
care.
say
Sorry.
again. Sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say?
Oh, to me, it's like you're filling out it's like I have to witness you fill out your Sims home. Like that's how it feels to me when people are talking about that shit. It's like this is for you to do on your own. I don't have any
Yes.
interest. Are you involving me in this? Like I don't care.
Yes. Yeah, that's 1F. It's because you're showing others negative attitude about physics. So it's like you leave your opinion about physical reality to yourself. I don't want that. I have my own opinions about my own physical
No,
reality.
more just like a general disinterest in it, where it's like, why are you trying to impose this boring shit onto me that I don't have interest in? Yeah, it's more feels like an invasion of like my mental center or something, or even my identity center on some level where it's like I don't consent to this. Like this isn't the experience I'm looking to have here.
Mhm.
Like you're making me be pulled into your story that has like
Mm.
literally no significance or anything interesting about it. And so it's like, why can you just do this without me? Thank you. Goodbye. I don't know. I'm kind of
Oh,
going to rant now. I
yeah.
don't have a
Yeah.
problem with people like making if I ask them for like or if like they're I don't have a problem asking people for sorry, yeah. Sorry, Rob. It's really unhinged right
You crack me up. Well, I can ask you a question. Do you think about a 5-year plan or do you think about the future a lot?
now. I think about the future,
Do
but
you know what you want to do? Do you know the decisions you want to make?
I mean, I've had the same fantasy forever. It just has not actualized, which is why I've been working through my blocks.
Hmm.
Um, But I can't stick to a plan. Like anytime I write in I literally have like an agenda, and every time I write in my agenda, then I'm like, I instantly don't want to do whatever I write down. So, but I think that
Oh,
might just be seven crap.
yeah, it is, but it sounds like self-negative volition. Does it piss you off?
Yeah, and I've sat with that where it feels like now like now somebody or something is telling me what to do, and
Mm,
it like throttles my creative expression or my like freedom to paint my day. And so
right.
I've had to work with that though. I can see that manifested in other types too, but where it's like I have to be like I'm choosing to do this, and then I have to like hook into what it's getting me, and then I can sort
Mm,
of like motivate myself towards it.
that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I do actually think you're 4V. And that would make sense you being 1F, but also self-pres last or whatever. Because sometimes you do seem self-pres to me. Like I told you the other day, like sometimes I
I
look at you
can't
and wonder.
tell.
What'd you say?
I still can't tell, and I type for money.
Yeah, but I think that makes a lot of sense. You being a 1F, being like quick to figure out what you want or whatever physically. And your ego definitely comes out when you say you're like there's like a disinterest in like having to think about it too much. Because that's also 7 doesn't want to, go too deep into that. Yeah, you just feel like FELV to me, just how I've talked to you. I don't think about it very much with you because we always talk about Enneagram, but if I had to give a best guess right now, I'd say FELV. There's something about your energy that fits with that. And you are good at making moods, which is a common thing that FELVs do. Like you'll
Mood.
set a mood, even when you set your backgrounds, like it's very clear you're trying to make a mood happen. And even like the videos that you pick for us to watch, you remember each scene and like how it made you feel or what impression you got from it. And you like try to refine them again. That all feels like FELV to me now that I think about it. So yeah.
You don't have to like look into your more into your system. I think I just have this like block to learning anything else until I've like mastered the Enneagram. So it's like,
Yep. And that's 3L, weirdly enough. That's exactly what 3L does. Oh.
oh, you guys got a little free AP sash. Rob has a membership, so
Yep. It's like what, $16 now, I think, a month. So, but you know what people do? They just go on there and buy it and they watch everything and then they cancel it, which I'm fine with. I mean, there's always new content, so you can just join later on.
I hate to admit that I do that kind of stuff sometimes, but
Yeah, that's why I can't get mad at it because I'm like, I do the same shit.
and some other like I'll stay in a subscription that I'm not even paying attention to for a long time too. It's weird. I don't know what the difference is. I think the price point is probably the difference. Maybe I
Mm,
don't know. Or I just
yeah,
forget it's like lower.
I used
But
to do that with a Twitch streamer, I think, who did tarot readings actually. I stayed with her for like 3 years, I think. I was paying her $5 a month. I'm just like, oh yeah. But I liked her, so I was just like, it's easier to give money to somebody that you just want to support. You don't care what the fuck they're doing.
we should do tarot readings now. Do you want to
We
bust out?
should. We should yeah, you already incorporate the Enneagram, but us talking about like theory over top of tarot would be really cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I love my Thoth tarot, Mr. Aleister Crowley.
Jack,
Yeah, Daddy Aleister.
I did a tarot reading before I went to get my beer.
Yeah.
It was like, well, they have my beer, and it was like, no. Like 7 of cups and like I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Um, people are discussing. Well, here, do you want to? Do you have your tech nearby?
Yeah, it's right in front of me.
What should I do a reading for? I got a deck too.
Mine's got titties on it though. Hopefully YouTube doesn't, get upset.
We can ask the commenters. Do you guys have any questions? There's like a lag.
Oh wait, this isn't my titty deck. It's the other one.
I got my fairy deck and I got my tarot. This is kind of fun.
Oh, you said fairy and that popped up right when you said that.
I'm a little fairy. People are talking about my instincts. I don't fucking know my like, I don't
You're
care.
all the instincts, all of them at once.
You want me to do a relationship reading with on the 8? Okay.
What 8?
One of my buddies, my Reddit buddies, is in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 4 of
I was
material.
like, Larissa, you have an 8? You haven't told me about this.
No, I don't want to date an 8. I don't want to date an 8.
You don't want to get completely dominated for the rest of your life?
Taylor and the 8. Taylor and the 8. Well, I got 4 materials at the beginning, and that's 4 of Pentacles, so that could be like, I feel like that's her trying to like hoard you. She's trying to make you hers. Do a tarot reading on Larissa's instincts. Do you want to do that, Rob?
Yeah, I'll pull some cards. Larissa's instincts. What are Larissa's instincts? Who said that?
Random name 2298.
Oh, okay.
They've been on the whole time.
I tried to make self-pres-sexual work in my head, but I was like, I don't know about that. Okay, I've got some cards falling all over the fucking place. It just feels like forfeits, disappointment. The 5 of Swords. The Knight of Swords and the 5 of Swords. Well, it definitely thinks you're social because swords are social. I mean, 5 of Swords is really spilly. It's disappointment. It's letting it out, showing that emotion. It does kind of align with social sexual. Knight of Swords is just raw. It's like fiery swords. Are you pulling more for your person?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got the reverse 8 of Cups. That's sexual adventure energy. That could just be 7 though, like aversion to boredom. Yeah, social sexual is actually what came up. Interesting. Yeah, the Emperor, fiery, sexual, pushing forward, breaking boundaries. Yeah, this is all social sexual.
Nice, I like it.
Yep.
Taylor, I don't know if you're gonna like it though. I yeah, 4 materials, so 4 pentacles. But okay, well, I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to. Okay, I'll try to do this quickly. Okay, I almost see this as like mine. You're mine. This is her, the woman. And like Muse of Voices. This is King of Swords actually, but I feel like she's like pulling you towards her. It's like come through my legs, like. But I feel like she's gonna. It's like a trap. 7 of Emotions, which is cups. She could be like. I feel like you might be one of many and you don't know it. I'm just like a little bit drunk, so I don't know how accurate this is. Hanged Muse. She could be weighing out her options, I feel like, almost looking at this, where it's like she might be trying to go aggressively for you to like lay her claim and get you, and then it's going to be like this energy of like, now I have you, like a cat with a mouse, like, okay. The Hierophant is like conformity on some level, and also it's like almost like this figure's like trying to chase her. Her back's turned. I feel like she's trying to flip the table on you so that you have to chase her. I feel like that's going to be her game, is that she's going to like try to get you to chase her next. 9 of Inspiration. So that's 9 of Wands. That's kind of like being like beleaguered a little bit, right? Like it's like I put in so much work now. Strength. She's trying to dominate the beast. She wants to sit on you. She wants to tame the beast, and you're like feeling like maybe with Knight of Inspiration and Nine of Inspiration on either side, I feel like she's trying to snuff out your fire and like take over.
Ooh, I mean, energy vampire. That can be kind of sexy though.
Yeah, maybe sexy for a little bit, and then I feel like this is you like running away. She's like, I'm trying to make the sun. It's like she's trying to snuff out your son so that she can get your son, and then you're like, no, I'm an explosive firework. I'm not even reading the comments, so I'll check in a second. But then I pulled these guys out. Literally, I was like, well, how does this end for Taylor? And these are like terrible cards from the fairy deck. So we have this is the meddler, which fits perfectly with her being an 862. Obviously, it's like she's gonna like insert herself in your life and she's gonna like fuck up your shit so she can control you. But this is also fear, so it's like she's bright, seem like scarier than she's able to be or something. Like this is kind of like the tarantula on the wall that can't bite you, but you're afraid can kill you. So I feel like she wants to do this to project this energy of control at some point, and then you're like, this little guy's like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't want this. You promised me something else. This is what I got. Anyways, that's my reading. Sorry, Taylor. I think that your other girlfriend's gonna like this reading though.
Oh, number 2 is gonna be happy. Yeah.
So somebody else pulled and got. Okay, social sexual, or I don't know. I can't tell. I can't read. Go for it, Taylor. Does anybody else want a reading? Me and Rob can do a reading. It'd be funny if we drew some of the same cards if we
Yeah, we can do a duel. Like you give your whatever your cards are saying, I'll give what mine are.
This is kind of fun. We should just do live tarot reading, drunk tarot reading streams.
Yes. Bro, I had so many out on the boat. That's probably why I was struggling. I probably ripped the fucking thing myself because I was. Oh.
Yeah, like I can't guarantee results with when there's drinking involved. Who knows? Maybe I'm being inhabited by a demon right now. Right. Well, if nobody has any other questions, we could do like a. I wonder if we could figure out that guy's type that we just typed because he was annoying and just kind of got it over with. If his type would come out, but I don't know if I want to think about that guy any longer. What is my instinctual stacking? Just for fun, random name.
Random person?
Yeah.
Are you pulling?
I can pull too. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if our decks agree.
For random name 2298. Oh fuck.
Wonder who that is. Who are you, random name? Do we know you? Okay, so what is random names instinctual stacking? I'm getting social again.
Yeah, I got swords, but it's inspiration or voices.
I got the 4.
6 of swords.
Yeah.
You got a second card?
I'm pulling now. Hold on. Nothing's feeling good yet. Okay, that one feels good. I got the Hermit, self-pres.
Oh, interesting. I got 9 of inspiration.
Oh, you got sexual again. I mean, Hermit could be sexual if you're like doing a transformation on your own.
Both got 9 though. So that's
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's a
got
Oh yeah, because 9 does kind of represent the sexual instinct, doesn't it?
it also kind of represents SP in some ways if it's got, but
That's true. Okay, I pulled Queen of Wands after that for a clarifier, which is definitely sexual fire.
Okay, so we both got wands.
Yeah, social sexual.
And then for my last one I pulled materials, which is SP.
Yeah, self-pres last.
Okay, so what is your stacking then, random name? because we both pulled, I guess, social sexual.
Yeah.
And I got 6 and 9, and you got 4 and 9. So that's kind of
Yeah, what if they're a 469 whiny face?
could be.
Are you a whiny little bitch, random?
Xavier, it's Xavier.
Oh, that's Xavier?
Yeah.
I think he did wonder if he was social sexual for a minute.
Can you imagine? This is like
He's definitely Sinflow. Oh,
and
wow, yeah.
just Sophia. I don't. Is this you, Ruby? Do
Wait, Ruby?
you know a Ruby?
In Enneagram community?
Maybe. I
She's
don't know.
super hot.
Could be. Is it? I don't know.
I can't remember her last name.
Am I finding out your guys' identity now? What is Sophia's instincts?
Sophia? Is that what we're pulling?
Yeah. Who might be Ruby, but it might not be Ruby. I got the wheel. I don't even know what that is.
I got the 6 of Cups, which can be interpreted 2 different ways for instincts. That can be sexual or social. I don't know. That's usually sexual. 6 of Cups. That's literally sexual fulfillment.
And the wheel this one kind of looks sexual in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the Hierophant second, which is social.
I got the priestess. I don't know what I would qualify her as. I wouldn't put her as me, though. Probably social, because it's like not the knowledge realm.
Probably.
But we both kind of got sexual social.
Sexual social, yeah.
This is fun. Wonder what else we can be reading for. Is there going to be an Enneagram boom again?
Yes. Yeah, let's see.
I don't know how to do timing, though. I can never get timing right when I do readings.
I just intuit that shit.
You guys kept getting 9, and that's probably my core, LOL.
Oh, yeah, Xavier's a 9. That's funny.
Rob typed me SXSO. That's so funny, dude. How are these ending up accurate?
Who is that?
No.
I don't remember who I typed sexual social. I've had a couple.
The Hierophant came out for when I asked the Enneagram question, which is interesting.
Oh. Oh, yeah, let me pull mine. Hold on. I got the Ace of Wands. That's definitely... Holy shit, 3 of Wands, too. Enneagram's gonna be booming. But that's novelty. Like Ace of Wands is novelty. So something new is coming. 3 of Wands is virtue, virtuousness. It's also blossoming, so that's good news.
Yeah, mine's not the same cards, but similar energy. Well, my first 2 to 3 cards are always just like the situation. And then I got the Hierophant, the Priestess.
I pulled the Ace of Swords on top of it. Yeah, this is all good.
Materials. And then I got the Wheel. So these came out again after I just did that, but this is like shit changing how it is right now.
Yep.
And then 2 of Emotions. I like this card for 2 of Cups because it's like almost like a mirror reflection. It kind of mirrors the Wheel thing where it's like now it's flipping. Like maybe this means it's coming back around again.
Yep.
It's like new way to hustle.
Yeah, mine's all about novelty.
Look at that. Come
Oh,
into
wow.
me. The cosmic symbol. Like a little bit of pregnancy energy here almost.
Interesting. Let's see if I can get a timeline.
If they create another lockdown situation, I could see that happening.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Bird
flu.
Thank you, WHO. Thank you, WHO. Now Enneagram screwing again.
All these people are finally realizing what the you know what did to them. I don't want to say it. I don't want to get you demonetized.
I already got to monetize. I can't monetize this channel.
Oh, that's bullshit. So I'm asking about the timeline now of when this is gonna happen.
Probably around the election.
I got the Lovers, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. God, I'm so bad at holding these fucking huge cards. God, shit, I need to turn my fucking blur off, but
She has like beheaded the guy.
yeah, the Queen of Swords.
It seems post-election. I think probably a woman's gonna end up getting in because I don't think they're gonna let Trump in, and I think Biden's gonna like die or like just rot or collapse or something. So I think it's gonna end up being a woman that. I mean, it's all like fake anyways, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, the Lovers and the Ten of Cups is interesting. I don't even know how I would. I mean, that's about letting go, the Ten of Cups, and losing, like, or falling into like meaninglessness. So it could be that something happens to where people kind of lose themselves in the Enneagram. That's why they get interested in the Enneagram, which I think is where the Lovers is coming from. But I asked about the timeline, so that sounds like it'll be after some sort of tragic event. I think the Lovers is just, it's about your ego. It's about self-forgetting.
maybe after the election or like around the election. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Or if something big happen, which I'm sure something big will happen around then. So that might be the trigger for people to get into typology stuff again.
save me.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any tarot questions? And see, there's more people watching now that we're not actually talking about the
How many
Enneagram.
do we have? I didn't load it up. I should have.
Not very many, but
Oh.
whatever. They never do get too many, and also, yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, you're also, what's it called? Blocked. You're probably shadow blocked or whatever.
All right, well, do you want to do a reading for each other if nobody wants to?
Yeah, we can.
Do
Do we
any?
have a question or is it general?
Yeah, do a reading for me. Like, do I get to leave here this year? Do I
Oh,
get to
okay.
go somewhere better?
This year, you said?
Yeah. I can't tell my own readings. I get upset reading my readings. Do you have a question?
Hmm. Tell me where my expanded instincts are going.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I want to know where they're ending up. 'Cause I have a couple different ideas, but I don't know. Shit, dropping cards again.
That makes sense. Whenever I draw, I drop cards. Maybe you're just tapping into my energy.
Yeah, this is definitely about a previous place you lived. Oh, interesting. So you've got some detective work to do, it says. Hmm. I don't know if it's detective work to get where you're trying to go, wherever you're leaving from, but it's also about where you've lived before because I got the reverse Ace of Swords, which is going backwards to old ideas and replaying thoughts and ruminating over the past and how you enjoyed the past or something you liked about the past. I also got the reverse Five of Wands, which is, it's bad if it's upright, but when it's reversed, it's more like just haste and aggressive moving forward. It's kind of like running people over, steamrolling them, get out of my way. So to me, this is saying, yeah, you're gonna rush it, but you're also doing some sort of research with the Seven of Swords reversed. They all came reversed, by the way. The Ace of Swords as well. Old ideas, you're ruminating on old ideas and old feelings, old something. It's definitely yes, because you're being aggressive about it. So whatever you're doing is done in haste.
Uh-oh. I mean,
I
I
feel
would
like
do
it's
it.
gonna work though, because you've got the reverse seven of swords, which is a discerning eye, is how I would describe it. It's like you're actually doing what you're supposed to do. You're not just like falling for any little crumb or whatever that will get you there, even though you're being aggressive with the five. All right, what does mine say?
Well, okay, so we open with like the nine of materials.
Mm-hmm.
All that
Money?
abundance coming out of her. She's like in flow. You are a manifester. Muse of emotion. So king of cups in some way, but she's like, I feel like she's kind of actually doing like she's like tasting it. You know what I mean? She's like savoring it. She's like licking up that sea urchin. Um, so this to me feels like being in flow and enjoying what you're doing. Like um, the star in this one, she kind of actually looks like a star to me instead of like where it can be like healing, but like I feel like she's putting herself out there and she's like putting herself on the stage. Like I like that more for the star being a star. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, me, and then the Hierophant. So I feel like this is like interesting because this came out in the Enneagram reading too.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like this is you preparing for that, whatever that is that's coming, perhaps. Ton of materials, so bada bing, bada boom, baby. Finally, your tree already has fruit, but maybe your tree gets like, and there's all people like dancing around it, like woo!
Wow, interesting.
Because this almost mirrors this in some way. It's like people coming to the rock that you're sitting on, and then it's like celebrating around it, like almost looks like some kind of like pagan
Oh, I gotta
worship.
start my cult. Yeah.
And then what's interesting, what came out, and then I did also the fairies just because I like to do double deck and just see if there's patterns repeating.
Mm-hmm.
Seven of voices, the seven of swords, the six of emotions. So it's almost like I feel like you're having this big success, but then it's like maybe there's like shit going on behind the scenes or like um, inner child healing that needs to be done or like I mean, this could be you doing shit behind the scenes yourself because I really like this card instead of the regular Seven of Swords, which it's like because she's sort of like playing two games at the same time. It's like she's kind of like, here's what she's doing up here, here's what she's doing down here. With the fox energy, it's kind of sneaky. So maybe it's like and then the hermit. So I almost feel like it's like underneath the surface is like you're up to stuff while you're like doing this stuff on the outside. So it's like maybe you have like this sort of second life or like hidden thing that you're doing behind the scenes. Um, Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It almost feels like split or something of like two lives that you're living. I don't know if that makes sense, but with the alchemist and then the fairies of the future. So this is like a casting like light into the dark. It's like she's making magic happen from like a vacuum, and then she takes a step, like it like opens up the light in the cave with each step that she takes. So she can't see too far into the future,
Mm-hmm.
but she's still gonna trust. So I think that that's like these ones are just in flow with the future. They're like I'm headed in the right direction, and like it's going to unfold how it's going to unfold, and then they have like their little gang of people that are following them where they're going, and like I feel like that mirrors what I also drew. And then we have the bodacious baldock, so I feel like that's that meddling energy again, but I feel like this is sort of like the behind the scenes, like maybe it is like inside, maybe not even, maybe I mean maybe it's like a relationship or maybe it's like a person, like whatever, but maybe it's Catherine. I mean, Six of Emotions is the past, so maybe. Maybe this is her. Help me. Give me some water.
No, she needs it. She needs a hose.
Your instinct. Oh my God. And this behind the scenes,
Oh
maybe.
God, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Never mind. I'm backtracking. I think this might be her energy. Well, let me draw one more. This deck. I have more for the others. Sorry. I get like carried away drawing too many decks or too many
No, I
cards.
pulled 3 more for you just for a little more.
8 of materials mastery. This is you literally. I love all these materials cards because this is like so bountiful. I feel like of you. It's like abundance, mastery, making money, making bank, baby. He of the fiery sword. As you can see, this is a glowing penis. Putting your
Oh,
manifesting your will into reality, tending
okay,
to the
I'll
deep.
take that.
He actually has a dick nose, kind of too. So. Like maybe you're just in like your masculine and it's like actually this is kind of an interesting dynamic of like masculine and feminine energy of like will and receptivity and abundance.
hmm
And then because then we also have interestingly this is dark feminine energy to me. Like she's rituals, she's kind of like manifesting, she's like calling forth like from within, like from deep within to manifest her. I like this is the most beautiful card to me, but again, this sort of actually makes me think of Muse of Emotions, where it's like there's this sensual kind of experience happening where it's like save. Maybe it's like almost bringing that sexual energy into your work, like where you're like having. I don't know. It's like infusing it with like maybe you're gonna start getting more into like how to use the instincts in some sort of sexy way or like I don't know maybe whatever. And then this little guy, I never know how to say his name, but he's like light. He's about all about lightening up.
How you
Okay.
spell it?
Nicola Muckle.
Ah.
But here, look.
Ah, yes, yes. Perfect.
He's sort of like lifting his bum. So I almost maybe maybe this is like lightening up for your like intense willpower, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm just gonna like
Bend
thrust
over.
forward, but like enjoy it while I'm thrusting. Anyways, I don't know.
Juicy. Very juicy.
I'm playing to my audience.
I pulled 3 more for you. I got the Prince of Wands.
Okay, that's good, right?
So yeah, the Prince of Wands is interesting because it's like it's impulsive, it's very whims oriented, but it's a lot of energy being put into it. It's also about longing. So I think this is picking up your energy. Longing the move. And you also got the reverse 7 of discs, which is material luck. It's things are going to work out. It's it's also about like not sinking your costs. So it's like seeing how things maybe you spent something or you bought something before or whatever you put your money into something before and you realize like, oh, that actually did have a purpose and it led up to this point in time. So it's like reversing the feeling of a sunken cost. And then I got the 6 of Wands for your final card, which is again triumph. It's like getting through it, getting over it. Lots of wands. So I don't know. To me, this says it's obvious that you know where you want to be. And I already know this is true because you've told me. And I don't know, something about like some sort of investment that you did before is going to come up and you're going to realize that like, holy crap, that actually like worked out for where I need to go. And it's going to be surprising because there's a lot of surprise energy, especially with the Prince of Wands just needing that kick of energy. I don't know.
Like,
You put your energy into something. It could just be material. It doesn't even have to be money. You moved something or did something or put a lot of physical energy into something in the past and it's gonna pop back up and you're gonna realize like, oh shit, that's what that was for.
that makes a lot of sense actually on like a deeper spiritual level where I sort of was having a crisis the other day and like how like what why why all these directions. But it kind of makes sense. Like I don't think I could have moved forward with the direction I want to move in until I like got right with myself. And I did end up investing a lot in like learning all this subconscious mind shit. So maybe that's what it relates to as like a or maybe it's my past artist time spent finally coming back around. I like all this. I like this. All right. Now it's like 10:20. Not that that matters, but people are just being horny in the comments.
Ooh.
My human I think I'm like a manifesting generator or like a generator or something. It's the one where that's put the responder because I remember being really disgusted when I read it. It's like I'm not a responder, and then I realized I was a responder, and I was like, I don't want to get into human design. I don't like what this is doing to my ego.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I think it pairs well with the Enneagram. I just don't want to be bothered with it. It's like astrology stuff.
Yeah, it seems unrelated to your ego.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. Maybe we do more. That was fun doing some like tarot readings at the end.
Yeah, I want to like having all these ideas of like setting up a whole smorgasbord of tarot and doing it for a few hours. I think that would be fun. Like even I would even want to set up a camera looking at it too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm too ghetto to do that, but I like that idea. Can you see it? Oh, it's disappearing. Oh. Yeah. And people always accuse me of like, you're just picking up cards. You're not. It's like, I'm not. Why would I coordinate a reading?
Be like, I'm not invested in that.
Yeah, like what
I
is
don't know you.
It's weird. But anyway. Okay. Well, that was fun. I think that we're both gonna get what we want.
Of course.
Thank you, beautiful people, for joining us. Yeah, I was gonna post a Zoom link, but no one was interested, so just gonna see if
Well,
anyone. Goblin hours activated. It's too early. I don't know. Well, I mean, I've hit my wall. What about you?
yeah, we can be done. We're good.
Thank you. Thank you.